Welcome to the A to Z Golfing Podcast with Andy Cezanne. I'm Anthony Zampano. We are presented by AM Golf Trips. Follow the entire 2023 season at amgolftrips.com and swagseries.com. Andy, it's been a while.
Been a little bit. We've been all around, so it's been fun.
To say the least. I mean, as far as getting used to traveling, I think I'm used to traveling. I don't know where it begins and where it ends. I feel like 4 days at a time, 6 days at a time. It's been all over from some of the places that we covered, but pretty much from Arizona to Florida to Texas to Tennessee. And now we're getting ready for the largest swag series event of the season in 2023 at Olympia Fields Country Club. 144 players, numerous sponsors that are going to be doing a multitude of things in various ways around the golf course. It is going to be a lot of fun, to say the least.
Yeah, 144. I mean, because we tried capping out at 106 earlier, thinking we had the sponsors in the 120, and then kind of reached out to them, right? And we found out we had we could do whatever we want with it. So we opened it up to 144, doubling on every tee box and having a good time with it all. I mean, I can't wait to see the turnout. Like just everyone getting together, everyone on the putting green doing the putting contest, all that stuff we usually do with it. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, and it's kind of built up to this point. I mean, you kind of look at how the season started. Obviously, Torrey Pines, for the amount of people that we were allowed to have, we hit that number. And then it's sort of built up and built up. Texas was awesome. And I think that was sort of the first glimpse of seeing an event with over 100 people, a little bit less at Gaylord Springs in Tennessee, just outside Nashville, which was still great. But I think since we started this has been the one that we have been sort of keen on, right? This is the biggest event in 2023. It's going to be really cool to have so many people from so many different areas come in. And then obviously with it being really the home for swag golf, it's going to be really cool to see all of these people come together from such a great community and really just enjoy an entire day at probably a top 2 Chicagoland golf course. I mean, it's just going to be for people that haven't played it. I haven't played it in a few years, but it's an amazing property altogether.
So when you played it, what's something that you remember from the course that stuck out to you? Actually, on the course.
Me being me, as far as the golf course, I just think it's a very just modern. It's got some old features. It's been modernized. It's a very straight ahead golf course. It's going to penalize you for your bad shots, and it's a traditional country club, right? It is. Yeah. If you are short-sighted, it's going to be difficult to play. Yeah. If you're not playing well. But it also gives you ample scoring opportunities, and one of the best clubhouses, and the pictures that you're going to be able to get, and the sights that you're going to see from various holes around the golf course. It's really amazing to be out there and see the history and see the lineage of a lot of things that are going on there. And I just can't wait for everyone to see it.
Yeah. So the PGAs there later on this year, they wouldn't be starting anything like prep wise for it, right? Like besides just getting greens ready and stuff, like they just maintain those all year. But I gotta imagine it'll be pretty low on everything, right?
I mean, traditionally speaking, you're already at a country club, right? So they're more keen on their members as they're gearing up for what is to come later in the year, right? They're not going to let the golf course grow out. That normally happens after a PGA or LPGA tour comes, just to get the golf course back into a healthy condition so that they can start regulating like when they're going to mow it, how they're going to water it, and stuff like that. I think with how I've seen golf courses in the area so far, I haven't been out a lot this year. I've been fortunate enough to get over to Elgin a few times, but just to see the conditions of the grass. And, for anyone that was here, we had what I would consider a very mild winter. If you talk to some of our friends that are in the Minnesota area and a little bit farther to the north, terrible winter. But here, I think the golf courses have been very receptive to the winter. I was very surprised to hear some feedback from some people that went on a trip into Missouri, and how, different the ice and the weather and the cold temperatures are, how they affect golf courses in that area. But I don't think it's going to be an issue at all. We've got great weather this week. We had a little bit of rain over the weekend. So all of that stuff leads to a healthy golf course and probably the best venue that we're going to see in 2023.
Yeah, really excited to get out that way. And then we got a bunch of sponsors coming out, like you said. I mean, it's going to be. I think this one's a little bit different than the other ones. Not saying that the other ones didn't have other stuff to offer. Just since it is kind of the hometown, cooking spot that we have, that I think they've added a little bit more to it.
Well, I think you're going to see different things. We've been fortunate enough to have some good representation. Tacoma has come out and had players playing in the event. We've had various things from Blue Tees. PointsBet was around at the first event just to be on site on a par 3. But obviously, as things evolve, this is what the evolution of it is too, right? It's a showcase and an opportunity for companies to come together and really put their best foot forward for everybody that signs up for one of these events. That was our biggest thing, is that, the players boxes and the contest and, the mystery bag par 3s for whatever type of suspense people want to put on it as far as what they're getting or what they're not getting. They can say whatever they want. It's a cool idea for people that are new to the community to not know what you're going to get for the contest, and to see sort of the reaction from people when we do bring them up and we give them a choice of one of the 4 black bags in that case. So I think that, not that we will do that for this event, but I also think it is going to be cool to see what individual sponsors do as far as it. I mean, I know like this will be also one of the first times that we've done the putting contest beforehand. Gonna have a little mix up there with it, and it's going to be fun because I think in my head, if I have it down right, I think it's going to come out really cool. It's going to give people an opportunity to be on the putting green with various other people within the brand, outside of the brand, sponsors, and sort of have a good time before the event, right? Yeah. And then you're out there with your partner that you've signed up for, and we're going to have a good time and do what we do. We're going to crown 2 teams to move on to the national championship and enjoy the rest of the day at Olympia Fields.
That's exactly where I was going to go next. I want to know about the putting contest. So we're doing it before the round, which is a new thing for us, I think. Usually we always have it at the end of the round or when you come off. And then, I was going to try to pick your brain a little bit, see if you can tell us what we're going to be doing for the putting contest. Anything different from you?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, it's not the first time at Big Cedar for the collectors event. We did it in regards to it being before the round at Paynes Valley, right? So within that, we had the par 3 contest the day before, and so on and so forth. To be very honest with you, I'd love to share with you what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to. I think that Andrew Schmidt and I are going to get together, and we are going to put the best competition possible out there, and have all 144 engaged and represented. And it might be maybe a pick your hole to qualify for the second round, pick your putt, do this, do that. We might have multiple lines going on at the same time. Right. But I think it'll be an ability to have sort of a more, I'll probably use a bad word and say, a party atmosphere. We don't necessarily want it to be that, but
a social gathering.
But one of the things about the putting contest is a little bit of that heckling and a little bit of the calling people out when they leave it short, right? I think this will be an ability to sort of split groups off within the confines of a big group, and to sort of kind of like go through the motions and make your putt and get on to the next round and sort of heckle against everybody else. But we'll see. Maybe we'll line up all 144 all together and take a crack at it and see what we can do with that.
I've seen a video like that where all like 100 people like we're around the circle and you putt into it. And
I mean, I don't think there's technically skill to that, but maybe it'll be something along the lines of doing something like that. But no, the putting contests I always feel are one of the things within the competition that are great to do, right? It slows down a little bit. You also get the people to all meet and everything, because everybody for registration comes at different times, whether they're going to the range at different times. And then they really only get to see the people that are in their group. So I think it's a good opportunity. It's always a good opportunity to get people together. I get excited for it. there's been a lot of people asking me travel wise why I'm not bringing the big speaker with me and just hammering people the whole time. But rest assured, it will be at Olympia Fields, and hopefully we get a few people to pop over onto the mic and do some cool stuff with it.
Yes, we'll have on the rocks there. We got barbecue lunch, I think, during the round. And afterwards, I think we got some more on the rocks, some OTR, and some little, I think, appetizers, some after the round too. Hang out and putt around and talk to the swag groups. I think the majority of the swag office is going to be there, I think, if not all. I think it's,
Yeah.
like I said, the hometown, and really looking forward to it all.
They've done a great job with the representation that they've had out. Andrew's been to a few, or I think I should say every single one but one. Frankie Ellingson has done an amazing job when he's been out there.
Yeah.
Chris Barker has been out there. We had Carl at an event. Adam Gardner's been to a few. So
Trent.
Trent was in Nashville. They've done such a great job, and I think it is a great opportunity. I mean, to share really quickly, to see at Gaylord Springs, listen, for anybody out there who's on the Discord, which has turned into this huge populated thing of people that don't actually play in the event but have the biggest opinions, you subsequently are hamstrung anytime you run an event. So to get off the golf course in the time that we did, under the conditions that we did, for a beautiful day to unfold afterwards, and have 2 rounds of lunch, be able to get the players all their player boxes, do the awards, get over the putting contest. But the biggest thing for me was to see the people that stuck around afterwards, to engage with Trent, engage with Andrew, engage with myself and you. But not only that, but to engage with each other. Like, listen, we're building a series of events that are around community, camaraderie, with competition. People are so quick to break down the competitive side of this and then don't focus on everything else, or like to break down the actual details of the event and then not look at it. We look at the entirety of the whole thing. And to me, that's the most fun part, is that we have stuff going on at all times. There are people that are strictly there for the camaraderie, and we love that and we appreciate it, and we see it come out. They're very friendly. They get to meet people that they've only talked to on social media platforms. And then you have the people there that are, competitive. And we've had some great gross scores of late. Jeff Williams down in Texas with a 9 under, and then we had an 8 under in Nashville. And for anybody out there that wants to talk a little bit about net scores, I'll put ours up against the stool of the bars anytime, and they can keep their 56s, 57s, and 58s, and we'll just keep doing what we do. So looking forward to it. And obviously the beauty of it is, with winners going on to the national championship, the amount of second and third place teams that have taken the exclusive invitation,
right?
That is going, for anybody that hasn't been to Big Cedar, but it's good to see people signing up for it. And for the people that have, they know how great of a place it is.
Yeah, definitely. In Texas, I think that's all we had. The extra signups were the second and third place, and then Gaylord were kind of right behind it as well. So I mean, it's getting exciting, and I think people are starting to, like you said, kind of realize that it's starting to amp up a little bit here. And yeah, I mean, I'm in a bunch of chats that people are like, I can't wait to get to Big Cedar. I was like, good, you got to get yourself there, you got to qualify yourself there. So it's gonna be fun. I said that before. It's gonna be fun because it's just, I'm having a great time. I know you are too. We're traveling country together, kind of seeing some things, and this is going to be a fun one that we're at our home place, get to wake up in our own bed and kind of get to a course and do what we do best.
Well, I mean, for me, it's awesome because I'm going to have the entire tournament built out and put in the back of a truck, and I get to unload it. So, it's not that it takes a lot of time, but when you are generally traveling and you're kind of working out of a suitcase, I mean, I love it first and foremost, but we've run into some situations this year already with trouble building stuff out, but all in all, we've gotten 100% of it done every single event. And that's bound to happen, right? I mean, we're traveling with about 600 pounds of gear that's getting shipped across the United States. So between making sure all of that is together and makes its way to its destination. But it's been very good. It's sitting in the lobby of our office right now. I'm super happy that it's not floating around with FedEx right now, and I'm not talking to logistics companies all the time. But
So you seem a little more even keel this week. You're not as stressed about checking, FedEx
it's
shipping labels.
it's ironic because we also added Ivanhoe, which is going to be a great event in its own, and we've seen the numbers start to climb for that, which is great. But it is something about just kind of like taking a deep breath and having the equipment back at home, and then subsequently it turns, it turns right back around. I mean, we end up in North Carolina at Pine Needles, with which we have a great turnout for that. I'm home for 16 hours on June the 6th, little celebration, and then on the road until the 14th of June. And through that we cover the Am Golf Trips Bandon Dunes trip, which is roughly about 4 to 5 days, and then from there a quick 4 or 5 hour drive up to Chambers Bay, and then we get to come back. And how it works out in the schedule is it's great that we're going to be at home. It'll be sort of that same breathing process. It'll be just ship everything back home, have the ability to regroup for a couple weeks, and then get back out there on the road and cover July, and then the beginning part of August is going to be something. It's going to be really special. Not looking forward to driving to New York, but I think Turning Stone is going to be a great venue. The golf courses look fantastic. Hopefully going to get out there here on a weekday, just a quick trip out to New York, and then fly back probably the next morning because I'm going to go up there and check out the golf courses.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. That's one of the destinations I wanted to see this year, was to see that property. So I'm looking forward to that. And then before we know it, there will be a couple of events left in 2023, and we'll be at the national championship. So
I know. I mean, we've been planning this for a long time now. And now that we're in it, like, it's just going so fast. It's like watching your kid grow up. Like, you wake up and they're 8 years old. I'm like, what just happened? How did I miss the past 8 years? I kind of feel like this is the same process. We've been building up so much, like you didn't even think it was going to come ever. And now that we're in it, it's just flying by.
yeah, I mean, if you think it's flying by, then you must not be traveling as much as I'm traveling, which you are. However, yeah, I would say that now that we've gotten the hang of things, and I think that's also the beauty of it is it is the build up, right? It's what else can we do for the players,
Right.
right? It's always been a focal point of any time that we've done something, whether it was back in the day of running flighted amateur events, to the beginning of Am Golf Trips, to the Swag Series, to you know running events for Swag Golf, collectors or public. I mean, it's always at the top of everyone's list here within our group when we're putting together an event, is how can you make it bigger and better. And listen, Mother Nature is Mother Nature, and she'll always be she's not going to change. um for the amount of people that we've had come out to these events so far, of actual people that have complained, I'll take it. I think I've gotten like one or two, and I still don't understand what they're complaining about, but I guess that's something to be said. I mean, we did get our first person that called a golf course the day after an event, and proclaimed what their handicap was, and told them that they would never come back to the golf course, to which I believe the general manager invited him back to the golf course, which I thought was a great move, and it's something sarcastic that I would have done. So,
Yeah.
but hey,
That's the
it's
first time
it
hearing this.
happens
I
everywhere.
didn't know that happened, dude. That's a fun
Well,
one.
I saved it for a special time and
Yeah,
place, and I felt like this is a very special time and place. So,
sure is. In front of our millions of fans that we have here, it's always a great
yeah,
spot.
all 13 of them, all
Yeah.
13 of them that are going to listen to this tomorrow. So,
No, it's
or
great.
to Friday. So,
I mean, well, and that's the best part about it. You spoke about Ivanhoe. Like, I think so. Ivanhoe has been trickling up in the numbers finally here, and now I think after this event we have coming up on Monday, I assume that's just going to grow after that part. So I'm really excited. And if you're not signed up yet, I'd get signed up now before the end of Monday's round. So
well, I think it's there's a lot of people out there that probably were paying attention to it,
yeah,
to the Swag Series, and wanted to see what it was all about. And people are, like I said before in this, people are going to have their own way of thinking about what they want to get out of the Swag Series, right?
right.
We have the competitive layout of it. You have the camaraderie and you have the community. So, what are you there for? If you're there for a fun day of, being at a golf course, and that's one of the other things too. Like, listen, the evolution of this schedule will always be in the best interest of the player. We want to have golf courses for an entire day. It is not contractually worked out in some avenues, but we will never run an event where you're there, told to be there, and told to leave.
Right.
Stay as long as you want, talk to as many people as you want. Don't watch Andy and Anthony run around with their heads cut off after the event, after it's all died down, trying to figure out how to get everything off the golf course.
Right.
Just do what you do. Enjoy the day. That's what you pay for, and that's the platform that we want to give you.
Right. You kind of brought it up a little bit, the Nashville one. That was the one I think I saw people stay the longest. I mean, people were staying probably 2.5 hours after, and they stayed past us. Like, we were like, all right, we're out of here. We finished.
Well, be careful throwing out times, because it was brought to our attention that the tournament didn't end until an hour after public play started. So we'll try to keep our clock times and quoting people to a minimum. But
I got all my timestamps on my pictures and my videos, so I can dispute anything anyone wants to.
I 100%. I think that might have been there. There were some funny comments that came out of Nashville as it pertained to the time the tournament ended, that there was no food and no putting contest. And then I've got Andy sending me videos to send to these people to call them out. And it was, listen, I'm going to have fun with it and stuff, but
yeah.
But it's going to be a great time. And I think it's going to be great for everybody to see the courses in the Chicagoland area. And then really turn our attention to going out to these other areas to really meet some new people out there. Andy, tell me a little bit about one of your best interactions with somebody in the community so far this year.
Wow. Thanks for putting me on the spot right there. I got to think about it really fast here. Best interaction probably was with Garrett Odom, who won the tournament in Texas, and then came back out with his dad to Gaylord Springs. And we were talking, he was trying to win Gaylord Springs also. And then he was going to have the fun conversation with his partner, Dan Rod, there to see who he was going to take the national championship. But him and his dad finished third place, and I was, proud of them and stuff. They came up just a bit short there. But he still has a decision he has to make there, if he wants to take his dad to the national championship or his previous winner. So that's a fun interaction. I got to meet, him. He's from Florida, and he's come to a couple events for us already, traveling around with us. And I feel like a good friendship is probably starting right there.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah. How about you?
I've had so many of them. I would say one that got me the most was I had never met Luhar. And when we were in Texas, I got to talk with him and Sid a little bit. And for anybody out there that doesn't know Sid Stanfield and his dedication, not only to helping people and swag off and sobriety, he does amazing stuff. I receive text messages from him almost weekly. Sometimes I'm on the road and I don't get back to them right away, or I'm busy. But to have a friendship with him, but then to also see what he has done so far with Luhar, and then to talk to Luhar a little bit about how he has started on his path of sobriety. Those are the moments that go beyond golf. They go beyond all this, and it's just about people. It's about two human beings. Myself, I've gone through my own struggles in my life in various areas, from not playing college football anymore, substance abuse, so on and so forth. I've made a lot of mistakes, right? But to be there in the moment and have the conversation with the both of them about it, and see how one is supporting the other, and then also let somebody know that you can be there for them, whatever they need in support, is a pretty cool moment for me, outside of everything else that's gone on this season. So I think that would probably be
meeting, right?
First time meeting. Have had a lot of discussions with him, and have had some running jokes on pages with him. And I'm sure, like most others that meet me, I've probably had a sarcastic comment here or there for you on Facebook or social media or Instagram.
Not you.
Yes, not me. But but no, that for me, I think that brings perspective onto a lot of things, and it brings up a period of my life that, everybody talks about that type of stuff in a bad manner. I think it was, for me, it's all positive, to learn what I learned. But I wish him none of the best, and he's like I said, he's in fantastic hands as far as support with Sid and everything that he's done. So a shout out to the both of them for that incredible interaction that I was able to have with them.
Yeah, definitely. And we're looking forward to having more interactions as we go along. We're only just over a quarter of the way through the season, so we got plenty to go here. More memories to make and more things to figure out.
A third of the way through the season, handing out more trophies, handing out a bunch of stuff. I'll let everybody know right now. I got a firsthand look at what's going to be given out at Olympia Fields. You're not going to be disappointed. Hope everyone has a great time out there. And you know what? We'll see you at Olympia Fields.
Yeah. If you're disappointed, give it to me. We're fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and you know what? Andy's not gonna do where you can find us. If you haven't found us by now, you're not gonna find us. If you've already found us, stay tuned for more to come.
Have a good one.
See ya.